Welcome to CourseLeap's teaser session on the TOK titles for the assessment year May 2025. But before we go into the 6 essay titles, let's pay attention to the important instructions to candidates by the IB. Your TOK essay must be written on one of the following 6 titles. Your essay is going to be marked according to the assessment criteria that has been published in the TOK guide. Examiners are looking to see if you have provided a clear, coherent, and critical exploration of the title you choose via the essay that you present. Examiners will mark your TOK essay as set. It is very important that you respond to this title exactly as given. Do not try and alter or change the title in any way. Finally, any quotations that might be present in the essay, they do represent the real point of view of the speaker, but they may not be a direct quotation, and there's no point going into the background knowledge of the speaker. So let's get started. These are the 6 essay titles for this year, May 2025. As you can see, all of the 6 titles tackle 1 or 2 areas of knowledge from our 5 compulsory AOKs. But for today's session, we're only going to unpack one title, and that will be Title 3. How can we reconcile the relentless drive to pursue knowledge with the finite resources we have available? And discuss this with reference to the natural sciences and one other area of knowledge. Of course, you do have a choice of other AOKs, but it would be smart to pick one that has finite resources. Another important point before we start writing the essay is to understand these key terms that we've color highlighted on this slide. First, let's look at the command term, discuss. Discuss essays ask a student to consider a balanced review of the title presented and to present a range of arguments, and any claims or conclusions that you reach must be clearly supported by appropriate evidence, in this case, examples from the areas of knowledge. With this title, the natural sciences is the specified area of knowledge, so you can't avoid working with the natural sciences. You do, however, have a choice to pick any other area to discuss alongside the natural sciences. So let's take a look at some of these key terms over here. First off, the knowledge framework link must be made through the essay. And this title appears to link with scope, perspectives, and methods and tools. Let's see how. Scope, because it fits in with what is the scope of investigation in that AOK. The nature and problems that AOK is tackling, and what they deem worthy of pursuing. And hence, in this relentless pursuit of knowledge, there's definitely the influence of perspectives and the choice of what knowledge to relentlessly pursue in the face of these finite resources. Another way to look at finite resources is from the lens of methods and tools. Limited tools, outdated methods can also represent the finite resources phrase of the title. The question in the title starts with how can we? And how questions require students to say in what ways and in what manner is it possible to reconcile this sort of bone of contention between a relentless pursuit in the face of limited resources. So we are reconciling, settling, putting together, merging the contradiction in the pursuit of knowledge in math, of history, in human sciences, and art, with the finite resources of these areas. So we assume that resources are finite, and we assume that we are relentlessly pursuing knowledge. And the discuss here helps you find the right balance between the drive to pursue knowledge in an AOK and the awareness that there are indeed finite resources and not enough to go around. TOK essays must always address elements or aspects of knowledge, and this title clearly highlights the pursuit of knowledge element. In TOK, pursuit of knowledge includes both production, construction, or creation of knowledge, as well as the acquisition or the search for knowledge. So in terms of your examples and your arguments, we must link them to production, construction, creation, or acquisition and receiving knowledge. Let's take the next important phrase in this title, the relentless drive to pursue. Relentless makes it seem that this drive for pursuit is a determined drive. a constant, unwavering, unflinching desire, motivation, or impulse to seek, go after, chase, or yearn for knowledge that we consider important. But we are faced with a dilemma. Resources in our area are finite. And finite implies that these resources are limited, they are scarce. Finite resources can be human made assets as well as natural assets available for use in any AOK. For example, funding in the natural sciences. Which type of research gets funding? Material tools. What sort of tools are available to conduct the research? Another finite resource in an AOK might be qualified human capital or personnel. Yet another might be the essential materials that we require to undertake research. So I want you to look at finite resources as both in terms of opportunity cost, what do we give up when we choose one thing over another, as well as resource allocation. How do the AOKs decide who gets what portion of their scarce resources? And who is the we reconciling these differences and making these important decisions? Your essay should also show how experts relentlessly pursue knowledge by maybe collaborating or taking into account these finite resources. So, to make advancements in research, to tackle what we know and what we don't. In seeking new knowledge for application in the world, we have to work with limited study or to select certain sources or limit our work to one particular area. Perhaps we do this by addressing multidisciplinary problems in a collaborative way. Perhaps we share funding, right? But expanding knowledge in this title acknowledges the fact that pursuit requires resources, and those resources may not always be available. This is what we have to answer. How do we reconcile this controversy? So, this is a very complex and context dependent challenge of seeking knowledge in the face of these limitations. Highlighting advances in AOKs that are dependent on resources that may not be available is an easy route to this title. And finally, choosing your other AOK. Best is pick an AOK where there exist finite resources. In the human sciences, you might want to look at examples from psychology or economics, or even business and management. Other AOKs, what about the arts? How would you highlight finite resources in the arts? What about history? Does the finite resources affect production and pursuit of knowledge in history? So, your strongest responses will point to the interplay of the two ideas, relentless pursuit and finite resources, acknowledging the ways we reconcile this dilemma, the tough decisions made in an AOK, the collaborations, the workarounds that experts in an AOK or decision makers in the AOK have to make to continue to pursue their desired knowledge. And what is the impact, therefore, on the pursuit of knowledge? So, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to support your endeavor to present an excellent TOK essay. We at CourseLeap love supporting our students. We also want our students to showcase their own intellect and academic excellence. So kindly reach out to us and our admin to get to know how you can avail of personalized sessions for the essay, dig deeper into certain titles of your choice, or just discuss how we can contribute to helping you be the best TOK student.